Pranams. Welcome to Joyful Vedanta. He's an intellectual here. Have you heard people say that? Sometimes we say he's very intelligent. Right? We all use the word intellect and intelligence in a interchangeable manner, although they mean completely different things. Right? When I look at a seed and I say I see a tree inside, what I mean is the tree is not physically seen now, but the seed has got the built-in intelligence to become a tree. That means I give the correct conditions and space and time, the seed will become only a tree. An apple seed will become only an apple tree. A mango seed will become only a mango tree and not an animal. All the intelligence is built into that seed. Like the seed knows how to break itself out. The seed knows how to germinate and grow upwards against gravity. The seed knows how to root itself below the earth. The seed knows how to absorb the sunlight and water and air and convert them into food for itself. The seed knows everything. The seed also knows how to drop its leaves on different seasons. And more importantly, the seed knows how to transfer that entire intelligence into the seeds which it itself generates. So that when that new seed generated by this tree is planted, it becomes once again the same apple tree. All this intelligence which is inside the seed is not learned intelligence. It is built-in intelligence, and that is what we call as intelligence. Right? Now, such intelligence exists in every species. Right? For example, an egg of a particular species can become only that species. An infant of a monkey can become only a monkey. Right? All these laws which are operating, which we call as intelligence, needs to be understood very well before we can talk about intellect. Right? Now, all these laws which are operating, like the law of gravity, the law of heat, the law of light, can be grouped into certain aspects for our easy understanding. Right? We call them orders. Right? The first one is the physical order. The physical order is the anatomy. Like a human species, we have a physical order. If you draw a vertical line and it's a plane, this one hand this side, one hand that side, one leg this side, one leg this side, right? There is a pattern, and that pattern is kind of maintained when a new infant is created, new baby is created, right? The same is true with a monkey, the same is true with a tiger, the same is true with a bird, the same is true with a plant or a tree. There is a physical anatomy to it, which can be touched and felt. This aspects related to the physical anatomy of all the species put together can be called as a physical order. Including the planets, there is some physical element to it. Right? The second order is the physical element cannot function without energy. Like a human being without the energy called prana is a dead person. Right? We need energy to move the hands, we need energy to talk, we need energy to listen, we need energy to see. That entire energy also operates inside all the species, which we cannot touch and see, but we can feel the effect of it, either present or not present. Some people it's present but very low quantity. Some people it's present in high quantity. Some people it's not present. We call that person dead. Right? Which is again equally true for all the species around this entire cosmos. We can call this, say, the physiological order, right? Which is operating inside the physical order. Then there is a lot of psychology. There is a psychological order that seems to be working, right? Like when you do something, that person will respond to you in a particular way. That's the psychological order. This psychology works not only for human beings, the psychology works for animals. There is a psychology for dolphins. In fact, the psychological order is used very effectively in training, right? Like there is a very famous Pavlov's experiment where a bell was rung and food was given to a dog, and every time the bell was rung, the dog started salivating as if it is seeing the food. This is psychological order, right? There is a psychology to it. In fact, some people refer to this even deeper as a physiological order, right? That's a matter of detail. But there is a psychological order in all the species. Like you do something, some response will come out of it. Right? All the influence that we talk about, influencing people, etc., operate on psychological orders. Right? And there is a psychological order which is operating, assuming the physiological order is there. Right? The fourth order that we talk about is an emotional order. Emotional order means what? Like when a new baby is born, human baby is born, we have 2 hands, 2 legs. I'm talking about normal situation, not exceptions. Right? Same way, when a new baby is born, it's the same set of emotions which are also installed into that person. 9 emotions, nothing more, nothing less. Right? And there is an emotional order to it. And emotions are functioning in a manner which drives the decisions of people. Emotions like fear, emotions like guilt, anger, right? What in Bhagavad Gita talks about kama, krodha, moha, lobha, mada, matsarya. Right? The 6 core drivers which drive all our actions, all our desires, they're all installed into the person at birth. It is not learned. Anger is not learned. Anger is there, provoked. Right? Emotional order. Then we talk about the intellectual order. Intellectual order is the ability to build a logic, ability to analyze various facts, connect them together. Intellectual order. Right? All these orders are available in all the species. A newborn baby is lying on the cradle. It experiences the wind of the fan. But when the baby is around 9 months, it has already established a connection that somebody going near the switch of the fan, right? The baby will not look at the person, the baby will look up at the fan. That means it has already established a connection at 9 months that there is a connection between the switch and the fan operating. And next time the baby wants the fan, it starts to cry because that's the only way it can communicate. It stops the cry when the fan is switched on. All this is part of the intellectual layer. Right? There is an intellectual order everywhere which seems to be operating. Right? Logical connections, ability to analyze, ability to forecast, ability to conclude, ability to make a choice. All of them are part of the intellectual order. Then there is the largest order, which is the cosmic order, which seems to be the cause and effect order. If we do an action, it seems to have a consequence. Right? And sometimes the consequence is predictable, sometimes the consequence is not predictable. Yeah? What we call as the dharma and the karma framework. Right? What goes around comes around, as people say. Right? So when all these orders put together, the physical order, the physiological order, the psychological order, emotional order, intellectual order, and the cosmic order. All these orders put together, if you look at a simple, complete package, it works like a software. It works like enterprise software, huge in size. And that seems to be operating in the cosmos. But if you see, eyes have the power to see. The moment I open my eyes, I can't stop the scene in front of me to enter my eyes. I cannot stop it. The moment my ears are open, I cannot stop the music from entering my ears. This is part of the built-in software, which is what we call as intelligence. The power to see is given to us. The power to hear is given to us. The power to taste is given to us. The power to smell is given to us. The power to feel on the skin is given to us. Similarly, the power of the mind to think, the power of the mind to analyze, the power of the mind to build a logic is also given to us. And that power is called intellect. Which means intellect is a proper small subset of the overall intelligence. It's also given to us at birth. It's not learned subject. It's not something that we learn. Right? Now, we cannot use these two words interchangeably. Right? For example, right now, you and I are having an intellectual conversation. Okay. Intellectual conversation on what? That means your mind is able to connect, your mind is able to build logic, you can think whether what I'm saying is right or wrong, you're already analyzing. So we are having an intellectual conversation. But intellectual conversation on what? We are having an intellectual conversation on what is intelligence, which is actually given to us already. It's already there. My body is given to me. A deer delivers a small baby. As soon as the baby falls on the ground, within a very short time it stands up. Who is teaching that baby how to stand up? Who is teaching that baby where to seek for milk? All this is part of intelligence which is already built in. Your bird knows how to fly. Your fish knows how to swim. It's all already built in intelligence. This entire bunch of intelligence is what we call as godliness on one side, is what we call as intelligence on the other side. Right? Now, we will not use the word intellect and intelligence interchangeably from now on, right? Because intellect, we understand, is a very, very small subset of the overall intelligence which is there. So when we say somebody is acting intelligently, that means that person may not have gone to a formal school, that person may not have learned certain subjects, the person may not know how to solve a quadratic equation or how to invert a matrix. The person may not know the nitty-gritties of music, but the person will know by common sense how things work and how things don't work and why things work the way it works. And that person who knows things by wisdom, who knows things by sheer experience, we call the person a very intelligent person. That means what that person knows is only how the order works. They don't ask a question why an object thrown up comes down, because they know that that's how it works. They may not know the term gravity. They may not know the value of gravity in terms of mathematical equation, 9.8 meters per second square. They may not know, but they know that once you throw something, it will come down. Right? That is what we call intelligence or understanding intelligence. Right? We need to explore deeply into the subject of intelligence if we have to build our spiritual energy, and the knowledge is very deep. And once we build a high level of spiritual energy, the kind of aura we emit and the kind of influence we can have on this universe is far, far higher, and it's beyond influencing only the human beings. Right? We just thought we'll talk to you about intellect versus intelligence. Pranams.